Chapter 5 Life Aboard the Ship. Titanic's passengers came from over 30 countries, some as far away as Thailand and Uruguay. However, most passengers were from Great Britain and the United States. Most of the top four decks were for first-class passengers. The most expensive suite cost over $60,000 in today's money. 47-year-old John Jacob Astor IV of New York City was the richest passenger on board. The Astor family had made their money in fur trading and owning lots of land. Astor and his wife Madeline were traveling home to New York City after their honeymoon. Another first-class passenger, Margaret Tobin Brown, known as Molly Brown, had been married to a Denver mining tycoon. Isidore Strauss, the co-owner of Macy's department store in New York City, traveled with his wife, Ida. They had been on vacation in Europe. Staying in the first-class cabins was like staying in a luxurious floating hotel. Some came with sitting rooms and small sleeping rooms for maids. Not all first-class cabins were alike. Some were decorated with fancy French furniture, while others looked like rooms from an English mansion. Some had fireplaces and ornate moldings and light fixtures. White Star Line advertised the splendor of first class. It is impossible to describe the decorations in the passenger accommodation. They're on a scale of magnificence. Nothing like them has ever appeared before on the ocean. The second-class cabins were clean and well lit. Most had bunk beds, a sofa, and a desk. In fact, Titanic's second class was just as nice as many other ships' first class. Cabins slept 2 to 4 people. 12-year-old Ruth Becker was traveling with her mother and 2 siblings in second class. She said, "Everything was new." New! Our cabin was just like a hotel room. It was so big. Most passengers were in third class, in the lowest decks. Third-class cabins were plain. Most had 4 beds, an electric light, and a small sink. To have running water in third class was very unusual. The 700 people traveling in third class had to share just 2 bathtubs. Most passengers did not mind too much. After all, they would be arriving in New York soon, and they were getting there on the most famous ship in the world, the Titanic. Passenger list. Exact numbers aren't known. There might have been last-minute changes to the passenger list before Titanic set sail, but the approximate breakdown was first-class passengers, 329, second-class passengers, 285, third-class passengers, 710, crew, 899. And what did people do all day? First-class passengers had many choices. Perhaps they would try out the machines in the gymnasium, a stationary bike or a rowing machine, or relax in the steam of the Turkish bath. The Turkish bath had beautiful mosaic tiles with a North African theme. There were gold beams and bronze lamps. People lounged on comfortable chairs after they took a steam bath. There was also a pool filled with seawater. Boilers warmed the water to room temperature. The only other ship that had a swimming pool at that time was Titanic's sister ship, the Olympic. The pool was reserved for first-class passengers only, and they had to pay 25 cents for a ticket. Second-class passengers had their own library and smoking room. They played cards, chess, or dominoes. They could stroll on the promenade deck reserved for second class. Promenade means walkway. In third class, passengers held dances in the general room. They were able to take walks or play games on the poop deck, the high deck at the stern of the ship. 10-year-old Frank Goldsmith and a few other boys from third class found their way to the lower decks and waved hello to the firemen and stokers. Nothing beat the food on the Titanic. First-class passengers ate in a beautiful saloon with expensive oak furniture. It was the largest dining room on any ship at the time. The tiled floor was designed to look like a Persian carpet. Waiters served passengers lobster and caviar from sterling silver platters. The Café Parisien was a popular eating spot for younger first class passengers. It looked like a sidewalk cafe in Paris. First class was fanciest in every way, but being in second class was still very pleasant. The dining room was filled with mahogany furniture with dark red upholstery. There was also a piano. Third class had its own dining room too, although much plainer. Even so, having a third class dining room was very unusual. On other ships, third class passengers had to bring their own food for the entire trip and cook it for themselves.